Hello everyone, welcome to Analog IAS Prelims High Yielding Series for Prelims 2020. And the topic for today's video is the important provisions of the Representation of People's Act 1951 and those which are in news. Before beginning this RPA 1951, let me bring to your notice the RPA 1950 as well, because a lot of aspirants don't even know the fact that there is a law called RPA 1950, which is quite different from the ambit of Representation of People's Act 1951. So basically, this article or this law rather talks about the qualification of voters, preparation of electorates, and delimitation of constituencies, and lastly, allocation of seats in legislature. All the other aspects of elections are taken care by RPA 1951. So let us have a look at the important provisions. So in this context, we have to know the Lily Thomas case of 2013 and the unfair advantage that it tried to remove. So according to RPA 1951, there was a section 8 clause 4 which allowed convicted lawmakers a 3-month period for filing appeal to the higher courts. So as a result, what happened was there is section 8 wherein it says that a person is deemed to be disqualified if he is convicted for a sentence of 2 years. Now when they get a stay order from the court, they will escape this and they will continue to be a part of the election process. So this unfair advantage was removed by Lily Thomas case, that is section 8. So it is not the section number that is important, but the provision and the Supreme Court judgment involved. Section 126 of the Representation of People's Act 1951 is also in use. So recently a committee constituted to review this suggested certain changes. So what is this about? Section 128 says that the act prohibits displaying any election matter by means, that is through TV or any mass media, during the period of 48 hours, that is 2 days before the fixed hour for conclusion of poll in a constituency. So this is violation of code. So in this context, you have to understand what election matter means. Election matter has been defined in that section as any matter that is intended or calculated to influence or affect the result of an election. So if there is any activity, like say for example distribution of certain freebies or distribution of money in exchange for vote, all this will come under the definition of election matter. The next thing is the provision prohibits conduct of exit polls and dissemination of their results during the period mentioned or in the hour fixed for commencement of polls. So what happens if the provisions of section 126 are violated? It is punishable with imprisonment up to period of 2 years or fine or both. So these are the important sections that were in news. Similarly, section 33 clause 7 of the RPA is also equally important. So what happens is it permits a candidate to contest any election, whether it is MP election, MLA election, or even legislative council election, from up to maximum of 2 constituencies only. So even in 2014, our Prime Minister has contested from 2 seats. One is in Varanasi and other one, I believe, is from Vadodara. So he had to vacate at least 1 seat. So he chose to retain Varanasi and gave up Vadodara. So this provision was introduced in 1996. Before that, there was no bar on the number of constituencies which a candidate could contest. Now let us have a look at the first statement. RPA 1951 had provisions for delimitation of constituencies. Like I've told you in the beginning of the lecture, it is not 1951, but it is 1950. Negative voting, that is nota. Recently, the Supreme Court has laid down that nota is a constitutional right of a voter. Therefore, this is a correct statement and this is a false statement. So 2 only is the answer. Now if you haven't watched the previous video on ICWA, please go back to that video, watch that video and try to come back and answer this question. Please post your answer in the comment section below. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more such videos.